This is my intro.
Hello, welcome back to my channel. I thought today's video could be me showing you guys some of my customized figures from Funko Pops to other smaller figures, but I just thought it'd be cool to show you because I have a few at this point. I'm not going to be showing all of them just because some of them have like smaller little details. And you may notice that there's some empty spots behind me. Or maybe you don't because you weren't looking that hard. But anyway, so let's just get started. I guess I'll start with the first one that I customized. And I'm not going to be showing y'all too close because listen, it was a hill and a half. There was a lot of trial and error. I learned throughout the customization process that like the smaller the paintbrush the better. I thought I started off with a small one. I didn't. It was a bit too big. I mean, I'm talking about like I might show you guys at the end the brush that I used that probably is the best, but I used safety pins at one point because the details are so fine on some of these figures. No matter how big or small you think they are, you need a small brush. And I will say that when I wanted to start customizing, I couldn't find any channels that were saying the kind of paint that they used. I think I went through like 4 or 5 videos before I found somebody who finally said, so I use acrylic based paints. And I will say that maybe check the ones that you use first because some are matte and some aren't. I don't quite like the matte. It dries a bit differently than the other acrylics, but generally like an acrylic paint will do fairly well. I know that I have to do usually a couple of coats just for it to really like stand out, maybe 1 or 2. But I've noticed like with the matte, they dry a different color than they are in the bottle, so those will take maybe 3 to 4 coats, so just be wary of that. But anyway, just wanted to let y'all know that in case anyone was looking to customize their figures. But I'm gonna be showing y'all from a distance because you don't really need to be seeing them up close. I'm looking at them on a shelf. I ain't all up in the figures either. So the first one up is going to be my Funko Soda Monica Rambeau Photon. So I customized this figure because I wanted the chase and I could not get the chase. I actually do have her in the common form. She glows in the dark. She's right behind me actually. And I did just want her. This is technically her using her powers. Like this happens for like a split second at the end of the movie where she looks like this, but they made that the common figure. I painted the eyes, the pants, the little white spots here, the shoes. Yeah, so that was the first one that I've ever customized. So next, I guess we'll go into our Funko Pops. The first Funko Pop I actually customized, I don't have it right now. I have it, it's put away somewhere else, but I have the same character and I did the same thing to her that I did to the other one, so I'm just going to show you this one. So I customized the Bianca Barclay, the Raven Dance version. They had her eyes black, and if you know Bianca Barclay, you know that her eyes are not, black. I mean, they're brown. The actress's eyes are brown, but Bianca's are blue, and I feel like that's a really distinct part of her character, so I wanted to have that present in the figure. So I did that on the Raven one, and then I did that on this most recent one that they released with her in her uniform. And then here's another customization. So I took the Bianca in the uniform because the head was a bit more plain. The one with the Raven had earrings on it, so I got it on sale. And then I got a Wednesday fencing, as you can see here. I got another one of those on sale for $4. So I got both of those figures so I could make this figure that I'm about to show you, because if you saw my Bianca Barclay video, which I'm not gonna link it, but if you want to go watch it on my channel, go watch it. A Bianca fencing figure. So I took the body from Wednesday and I took the head from Bianca. I painted the eyes blue. And then this one was fairly simple. I did just paint the fencing uniform all white because that's essentially what the fencing uniforms are. I put it back on the shelf. This next one that I did is from the Owl House. If you know Amity from the Owl House, they released the whole Owl House line. I did get every figure. And they had Amity look like this. I'm going to pop up a picture here. And she had her like light purplish hair, which is fine, but the Amity that like I love the most, her design, is when she had her green hair. And so I wanted to make the Amity figure with that hair color. I think I got pretty close. So this is my Amity figure. I don't know if you can see. This is my Amity figure. I think I did pretty well on this one. It was a pretty straightforward, I mean, honestly, I dropped the base. But yeah, so you can see the lines aren't as clean. And then this was before I got like the really small brush where I could like get under there and not be scared that I was gonna like paint the skin of the figure. Same for right there. But yeah, so I thought that I did pretty well. I think I matched the color almost perfectly, as perfect as I could get with the little acrylic paints that I had and mixing the colors together. So I did that. The next one that I did was, actually I think I may have done this one before the Amity. So I did Vi from Arcane. So I'm gonna pop up a picture here how she looked. And I thought that was fine, like okay, but I also thought that the pink was too bright. That is not like the color pink that Vi's hair is in the series, but I really like the Pit Fighter Vi, and so I decided to try to make a Pit Fighter Vi as much as I could without adding anything on here. I didn't like sculpt or anything. I literally just painted it. But so here is my Pit Fighter Vi. Let me try to straighten her head out. So this is my Pit Fighter Vi, and I left some pink visible just so I could remember how she once looked. But yeah, so if you could see, I did try to detail on the back a bit. I painted some little gold accents. I painted it black. I painted her pants and added some maroon, some black, some gray. I painted her boots to be a bit more of the muted red. I tried to keep some of the gold accents. This is really before I did not have the smaller brush that I should have when I did this, so the lines aren't as clean. I tried to get in there and get the jacket. The gauntlets did kind of get in the way a bit, but yeah, I think this one turned out pretty nice. I think it's pretty good. Again, these are like on a shelf, so like I'm not looking at them, like seeing all the messed up details. So in the vein of Arcane, I do have a couple of other figures. I didn't do too much to this one. This is Senna from League of Legends. I literally just painted her eyes green. I just painted her eyes green because her eyes are green, and so I was like, I'm gonna do that for you, girl. So I did that. I did paint my Mel Tokidoki figure. This is such an underrated look from Mel. Everybody forgets this look. I didn't forget this look, girl. That is my favorite look of Mel. I was going to do my Mel Funko Pop figure, but I only got one when I first got them, and I hadn't thought about doing this. And since then, the price has gone up, and they haven't restocked it. And the only place really that you can get it is from Amazon, and it's $22 on there. For why? Why are you overcharged? I bought all of these Arcane figures before Funko did their price increase. So back when they were like $12, now everything's $14. And then that's if it's not, like I said, being upcharged to like 20 something dollars. And I was like, listen, I'm not going to buy you at nearly double of what the MSRP is to then customize you. I just can't justify it. So one of these days I'm gonna get it on sale. Repaints, I got a second Mel so I could do a custom Mel figure. So this is how the Mel figure usually looks. So this is her. And yeah, so I love this look. I love Mel, but you know what I love more? I love the black dress that Mel wears in this series, and they did not make a Funko Pop of that. So I literally just finished this like 20 minutes ago. And again, the paint strokes maybe aren't the cleanest, and it may not be a one-to-one of the outfit, but it really is just to get the essence of the fit. So this was the one that I've done most recently. Most of the figures that I customize, I either buy at MSRP or I bought them on sale, so I feel fine customizing them, and I'm probably not going to get rid of them or sell them, so it's fine. But yeah, so anyway, so I have this Mel Tokidoki. It was a duplicate, and so then I was like, wait, I can customize it. So long story short, I customized, can you guys see? I customized this Mel to be in her black outfit. So again, the lines aren't the cleanest. I have a habit of like getting it, oh, I'm like, oh, this is perfect, and then I go in and do a couple more things, and then all of a sudden I've ruined it. I kept the original, so yeah. That is that customization. So on to the next figure. Okay, and the last Funko Pop that I have customized, I actually have one more and I can't find it right now, but that's fine. A lot of people are gonna clutch their pearls with this one. But I don't know if you've seen Ironheart, the series, but they released 2 Funko Pops for that series. They were both Riri Williams in her Ironheart suit. However, I really would have loved if they made a Natalie, and I saw a lot of people saying the same, like, oh, can we get a Natalie? They did not release a Natalie. Maybe they will in the future, but I thought I had this figure here from House of Dragon. I've never seen the show, but I saw the figure and I was like, oh, that's cool. And I don't know why I bought it, but I did. And then they announced this figure here from K-Pop Demon Hunters. Now, I think you can see where this is going. I took the head off this Funko Pop and put it on the body of this one. And it came yesterday, and so I did the thing. I made this Natalie figure. Now, I know Natalie didn't have any weapons, but I thought the body of Zoe really matched kind of like the kind of like streetwear vibe that Natalie had, that like a lot of other Funko figures maybe didn't have. It was gonna take a lot for me to like try to search through them and maybe find the best. So I painted the body brown, and I painted like the hands brown, and then I painted the hair of this figure black because it was white, and then I added a couple of blue metallic-y paint to some of the braids because some of Natalie's braids are different colors. I really like how this came out. I think it turned out great. Okay, so I have one Youtooz figure that I customized, and I didn't plan on customizing it, but it was a Mel Medarda, and when I got it, her hair was completely the wrong color. It didn't quite look that way online, and I didn't realize how jarring it was going to be, so I literally just went in and painted the hair black. And it was a bit harder than you'd think because like it loops under these things, and then I didn't want to get any black paint on these because these are see-through, these are more or less clear, so it would have been very obvious. So again, I was using, you know, smaller brushes, some safety pins, but then I did end up getting like gold metallic paint a bit later, so I was like, oh, let me just add some gold metallic paint to these wispy things. I don't know if it's quite visible. It's really just like if I'm standing under the sunlight, it'll kind of glimmer. But yeah, so that's that figure. All the rest are peach Riots. Here are a couple that I've customized, so I guess I'll go first to last. So the first one that I customized is this Gigi figure. So this is the original figure. This is what she looked like originally. I still love this one. I love the outfit. I love the vibe. So my brother did get me some. He got me some peach Riots, and so 2 of these are actually duplicates that I got from him, and I absolutely was fine with that because then I was able to customize the duplicates. And so this is, again, please don't look too close, the brown. This one was a hill and a half. This was before I got brown paint, and I was trying to make brown, then it didn't work out, then I added more glitter, and then it didn't work out, so then I had to try to clean off all that brown, reapply the new brown that I got. It was a whole thing. But I do like the hair. I don't know if you can see, I made like a blue and black mix for the hair. I don't know if you can see, but I really do like that part. But anyway, so I painted this to look, I guess, a bit like Frankie, but mostly just like a chill black girl in a cafe working on something with her cat on her lap. I love the carpenter pants. I like the messenger bag. That actually was like a mistake that I turned out loving. I tried to paint it 2 different colors and I didn't like it, and I wiped it off with a rubbing alcohol swab, and that's kind of how it turned out. So I do enjoy how majority of this turned out. Again, the lines aren't clean, but I'm looking at these on a shelf, so don't worry about that. The next figure is, I did get a duplicate of Frankie Mechanic. I love this figure. I needed to have this figure. So I painted her hair a bit of a darker blue. When I was younger, I used to want my hair that color blue, if you can believe it. But yeah, so this is the figure I painted. The outfit, I like this little splotch that I did on the side. It's like black and white, white accents here, white screwdriver. There is like a couple, like, I like this right here. It looks a bit like rough. I don't know if it's gonna zoom in on it. Is my face in the way? But I do like the little rough edges there on the paint. But yeah, so that's the Frankie. I really do like this one. So I got this peach Riot figure. It was the Poppy ice cream. I don't have a duplicate of this one, but this is what it looks like. And I didn't quite like the pink. I kind of like vibed with her just being black because I think black contrasted well with her hair. So I painted this figure to be completely black, and I thought it really went nice with her boots. I painted the ice cream cone as well just to keep the vibe going. Again, it's not the cleanest lines. This was before I had like the best brush. There was a lot of trial and error with these, but again, I'm looking at them from afar most of the time, so it's not that noticeable. Last but definitely not least, this is my most recent figure. I did have a duplicate of this, but I donated it. A lot of the duplicates that I get, I donate. I usually only keep them if I plan to like customize them or something of that nature, or if I want to give them to like one of my relatives. So this was Gigi Alles Calm, and I wanted to make this into like, I guess you could say this is like Frankie with darker blue hair, but I did want to make this figure because I really love this figure. I love the big scarf. I love the hot chocolate. I just wanted to identify with my figures a bit more. There's nothing wrong with Gigi, nothing wrong with Poppy or anything. Sometimes I just, you know, I want to have a figure on my shelf that reminds me of me a bit, and I love hot chocolate, and I love big scarves, and I love the mittens. So I did that, and Frankie actually does have this hairstyle a couple of times. I want to say like Frankie Night T has this hairstyle, so like for me it's not like too jarring of like oh, that looks nothing like her. Again, no need to look too close, but I think it turned out pretty well. So for the most part, those are all of my figures. I will say, actually, I think this is going to be really funny, so I want to show y'all this. These are all the parts. These are all the parts of the figures that didn't get used. So the heads, the bodies, a bit morbid, but yeah, I don't know if y'all can see in there, but yeah, those are the parts that I don't quite know what to do with yet. So yeah, I guess we'll see. I did want to show y'all my figures. I do enjoy customizing, so if you are into customizing, I would say again, acrylic paint, get smaller brushes. I'll put some pictures up maybe of like maybe the size that I'm talking about. But yeah, get some smaller brushes, get the paint. Maybe if you have like Procreate or like an art thing that you can do it in, maybe test it out in there first before you paint on the figure, because kind of once you put it on, it's hard to get the paint off. It dries very quickly. I use rubbing alcohol swabs. I found that gets it off quicker. Still, it doesn't get everything. It just gets most, like if you make a mistake or something. But thank you so much for watching this video. This was just like a random video that I thought it'd be cool to show y'all, because I have, you know, enough of them now that it could make a decent video. But let me know what your favorite of my customizations is. If you've customized any figures, let me know down in the comments what you've customized. And I guess I'll see you on the next one. Bye.